Hey everyone, welcome to the MMA Heat podcast. I'm Karyn Bryant.
And I'm Pete Cummins.
So UFC 186 went down this past weekend, which we will be talking about. Demetrious Johnson, victorious. But the Jon Jones situation, folks, not good, Pete, not good. So we'll get into that as well, and the facts as we know it at this time of recording. Before we get into that, though, did you have a good weekend, though? Was it good?
It was good. It was a good weekend. Yeah.
You watched the fights out at the bar, right?
Watched the fights at the bar, goal, with your husband, Wade. And we had a good time.
I was thinking, you know, because I was working at Fox, but you should have recorded your own instant reactions, because the time we did that for the podcast, I thought that was really fun. And then afterwards, I thought, Pete should have done his own instant react.
I need a playoff. You know, it's more fun with you.
So you're not as funny without me, is what you're trying to say.
No, in fact, my life is pretty much devoid of purpose without you, Karyn.
Right?
Tuesday through Sunday, I'm a pretty droll person who's just wandering aimlessly through this world. So this is my one moment of happiness.
Oh, you're welcome. But yeah, so a lot of bad things going on. But we are going to talk about Demetrious. We're going to talk about Rampage, Bisping, and just sort of general takeaway from 186. And then in High Five, you'll be...
High Five, I give Demetrious some PR advice. Because,
really?
Well, I mean, just look at our show. He's round 2. He's round 2.
Well, but you know, we always do on a card. They go by weight classes. Jon Jones at this point, a little bit of a bigger news story and a little bit of a bigger weight class.
You know, Demetrious is such a good fighter, and he doesn't get the respect. So I'm gonna give him a PR makeover.
But are you gonna give him respect?
How can you not give Demetrious
well,
respect?
that's true.
We might, we might be a little tongue-in-cheek here.
You. It's all you. Demetrious Johnson, I think you're incredible. You're a lovely man. I think your wife, Destiny, and your 2 beautiful children are fantastic human beings. Okay, that being said, Pete, the Jon Jones situation. Here's what we know as the time that we're recording this. He was involved in a hit-and-run accident late Saturday night in Albuquerque. The story is now that they're probably going to initiate an arrest warrant. The pregnant woman that he hit now has suffered a broken arm. That's been confirmed by my buddy Brett over there at ESPN. So that elevates everything. You know, they thought maybe it was minor damages. The story is that he was seen, you know, he was ID'd by an off-duty cop or whatever, fleeing the scene and then coming back to grab some money, that there was marijuana and a marijuana pipe found in the car. So it's not good. So far, the UFC hasn't canceled his fight at UFC 187, but nobody's heard from Jon. And I do, you know, obviously the story is very fluid, but as of what we know now, Pete, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, thoughts of one, when he fled the scene, did he lean down and pump up his Reebok before he fled?
Did he go bad?
Did he? Here's my thing. First of all, I'm really bummed out.
Yeah, I'm bummed too.
I bought the 6-minute abs, and they worked okay.
Right.
I then did the 8-minute bicep blaster.
Yeah.
That worked okay.
Yeah.
But Jon Jones's 18-hour rehab tapes that I bought apparently do not work.
Didn't work. Yeah.
First of all, if you're going to leave and then come back, get the pipe. Get the pipe out of the car.
So you're mad that he got the cash and not the pipe?
What are you thinking? You got to get cash, but get the pipe out of the car. If there's one
That's very incriminating.
If there's one thing that high old guy can teach Jon Jones is get the pipe.
Get the pipe.
Other than that, I don't know much to say.
Because you could always say it's the other guy. See, this is the thing. I don't know all the rules. Like, is it apparently? I guess it's just illegal to have that in there. Period. Right, to have like a weed and a pipe, you know what I mean? It's like an open bottle of liquor. Like, regardless, you can't have it, right? Like, I mean, even if, let's say, he had a prescription, which he doesn't, but you know what I mean? Are you still in trouble?
I don't know Albuquerque's pot laws if medical marijuana is legal there. You know, or not, I don't know, but it certainly doesn't look good for Reebok.
Well, right, because even if you say it wasn't mine, they're probably going to drug test you and then find if it's in his system.
Yeah, it's just bad.
No, it's bad. But he had to take the cash because he can't, you know, if he's going on the lam, he can't use any credit cards or anything
go on the lam? How is Jon Jones going to go on the lam?
How do you, maybe in his what's good for him is everybody thinks black people look alike. There probably are places he could go where they wouldn't know who he is and he could just get a cheap hotel room with cash and be okay. It's not like he's Tom Brady.
I think that he's holed up with War Machine.
Oh, stop. That's terrible. That's terrible.
And they're in Mexico. training.
That's terrible. Listen, this makes me sad because, you know, obviously he's done some things before, and that's not good. And whether or not you believed his, you know, 26-hour rehab or whatever, it just saddens me that somebody so great is blowing it. Like, it just sucks. Like, he already is legendary. You're talking pound for pound #1, like all the positive things he could do, and you gotta blow it. Like, that just bums me out.
Well, and I agree with you. But there's a couple things, too, that the media hasn't picked up on. Like, yes, it was a pregnant woman, right? But, like, 1 out of every 3 women in Albuquerque is pregnant. So, you know, that was just a numbers game. Too. And 2, you know that woman is like doing things to herself, you know,
breaking her arm even more.
Trying to twist it, you know.
Once she figured out who hit her.
Oh, dude, once she figured out who hit her, she's like stubbing toes.
It's kind of like how I almost try to wipe out if I'm in like a, I can't even say fast food because I don't eat fast food, but you know, something like, I'm in Nordstrom's, like, what if I slipped and fell?
Yeah,
that wouldn't suck so bad, you know, lifetime of. So Rumble Johnson, though, so we don't know. As we said, at the time we're recording this, the Rumble fight is still on, and you know, Rumble's been like, look, I'm not slowing down, and let's not judge anything until, you know, we have all the details and this and that. So Rumble's you know, being positive about the situation right now. He's a good guy, you know, despite the rumors, doesn't stop me or keep me from being focused, staying on my grind. Let's just say if it falls apart and, like, you know, you go to jail, I'm pretty sure you lose your title. So I wonder if they would put, you know, Rumble. See, Rumble's #1 there. He already beat Gus, who's there at #2. So would they put Rumble in DC to fight for a vacant title? Maybe. Because Gus and DC already lost to Jon, though. Or do they just go, hey, #1, cool, you're in? I don't know. But I think, if anything,
I'd like to see DC get
Rumble and DC, I think, would be kind of fun because Rumble stuck it to Gus already.
Right.
And so you can't put, all right, end of round 1. You can't necessarily just put DC and Gus. That doesn't solve anything. Rumble should get the title shot, or he should just, you know, I know they won't just give it to him.
Right, right.
But I think he was dismissive enough of Gus that it should be DC. DC went 5 rounds with Jon, at least.
Right, right.
So did Gus. Shoot. That was a better fight, actually. The Gus Jones fight was better than the DC Jones fight. Damn it.
Give it to DC.
Damn it.
Give it to DC.
Damn it.
I'll tell you what, though. Wheaties needs to step in now and get Jon Jones as their sponsor. No, seriously. Because, like, they're like, okay, fine, we had a future transgender person on our box, but now we got a coked-up fighter who loves hanging out with chicks and driving fast cars. So how manly is that? Get your bowl of Wheaties, scratch your balls, and go in and get that job promotion you deserve. I mean, you know, man up.
What a nightmare, though. Yeah, it sucks. So anyway, I hope that this situation, I don't even know, comes to I don't know. Round 2, Pete. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, though, is that this is sort of the problem with, like, you know, when you do have, like, Reebok sponsoring an individual fighter. Because there's so much time off between fights, so little supervision. So it's not like, you know, sponsoring, like, you know, Tom Brady. Well, he's under, like, Bill Belichick's control for, like, a giant part of this season. So it's tough. It is tough.
But one person who usually does the right thing is Demetrious Johnson. Okay, so let's get to the fights. UFC 186. The guy, what?
He usually does the right thing, but he did win my procrastinator of the night bonus last
4 minutes and 59 seconds in the last round.
That guy's like worse than me doing my income taxes. I mean, I put that off until October 15th, like the night before.
Right. Well, listen though, he just dominated Kyoji. You know, the interesting thing is it did take him a little bit of time at the beginning to get that timing down. Kyoji's got that karate stance, and you know, kind of like we were talking about this on the show, like much like how Machida's that wide stance, and he zooms in and out and up the middle and this and that. So you could tell at first DJ was kind of like, it took him a minute to get the timing, and he got, you know, he did get tagged a couple times in there. But then it just became like takedown. Dude scored 14 takedowns. 14 takedowns.
And listen, this is if you think DJ is a boring fighter, the problem is with the sport then, because he is a master at this sport.
Totally.
So if you think he's a boring fighter, go watch another sport, because this isn't the sport for you.
Yeah, the guy is so good and so technical, and to me, you know, I find him totally entertaining to watch because he's so fast. He's in there. He never slows down. The pace is ridiculous. You get the same fight in the 5th round that you got in the 1st round. I mean, it's kind of incredible. It's kind of incredible, and I know, you know, at this point, I guess he's kind of of been like, look, if you guys want to not like me, like, that's on you. I literally can't do anything better, pretty much.
That arm bar was amazing because you heard the wood blocks.
Yeah.
And then and then you see him spin around, and like I'm with Wade going like, oh my God,
he's gonna do it.
Like there couldn't have been more than 2 seconds left. It's
amazing. So I love that he's got the record now. I mean, because he really can't have a later stoppage at this point.
Right.
Whatever. I think it's great. I don't know. People are talking about, oh, Henry Cejudo is going to be the one that can stick it to him. Henry, of course, a gold medal winning wrestler, but he's still raw. He is ranked. I feel like they put him at number 7 or 8 or something like that right now. But he actually, Kyoji was 7 before, so maybe he's 9 or 7. But give him time. Rashad, we were talking about it. He's like, oh, I think he could do something, but he's really raw. He's only made the weight, I think once or whatever. Right. So that could be cool. Jussier Formiga, he hasn't fought. He fought Don Dodson, and a lot of people think Dodson might be the one that could get Demetrious because he's powerful. The thing is he's beaten Benavidez twice. He's, it's like, but people don't get, or maybe they do, controversy aside with Jon Jones being so dominant, Jose Aldo being so dominant. Like, people don't seem to be as mad at those guys, but they're pissed at Demetrious.
No. But here's the thing too; it's not Demetrious' fault. Like, who else is in that division? Who are the big name draws?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Most people don't want to fight Benavidez. Most people will lose to Benavidez, except Demetrious.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Most people, like the next month, there's a Makovsky fight, and that's the whole thing. Dodson Makovsky. That's going to be a great, great fight. So maybe the winner of that could get the shot. It's tough because people are, oh, he's cleaned out the division. But again, it's not his fault. Like, God damn it, stop being so good. You suck for being so good. It doesn't make any sense.
I just feel bad for Kyoji.
Yeah.
For the rest of his life, he's going to be gone 1001. Fuck!
Yeah. So add him to, you're going to see him drinking out with Alexis Davis and with, why am I blanking now? Kat. They're all going to have the under 20 club. You know what I mean? Under 27. But yeah, he'll be like, yeah, dude, I made it all the way. I mean, even though he was going to lose, but he made it.
He fought for 24 minutes and 59 seconds. 1001. Fuck!
And it's different. I guess it is different losing via submission to losing a unanimous decision, which it's so clearly.
Totally.
But like,
you want to. It's just like how Demetrious how quickly he worked.
Right.
And it was incredible. It was incredible. Give him his due. That was like he set that thing up and executed it in like 8-9 seconds.
I love it. I love
against the guy who knew that he only had 10 more seconds.
Yeah. And hey, here's the thing though. I thought Horiguchi wasn't doing a bad job, with a lot of what he was doing. It was working, some of it, but just not all of it, not consistently. But yeah, good fight for him. But yeah, I swear, like, it must be really frustrating. The 1 second, they're like, and Alexis and Kat and these guys, like anybody who loses, like Charlie Brenneman one time got like just blasted in 8 seconds or something. John Fitch one time just got laid out in 5 or 7 seconds. Like, that just sucks so bad. Oh my God, like I can't, but like all the time that went into camp. At least Kyoji got to show off and like be in a fight, get some new fans. You know what I mean? Like Kyoji was on the big stage and everything, and got some positivity.
Hold on, what's this?
This is
he turned into like a Borscht Belt comic. Hey. Welcome, Montreal. It's great to be here.
The interesting fact on that too is that was the 6th attempt by a Japanese fighter to get a title and the 6th failure. There have been no Japanese champions, which is also kind of a bummer. It would be cool to get a little, not that I want Demetrious to lose, but it would be cool to have a little bit of diversity in our champs. I don't know. That's me. Round 3. So, Rampage. My boy Rampage is back. I'm sorry. Anybody who knows MMA Heat knows we here love Quentin Rampage Jackson. We are big fans, buddies. Love the guy. I'm really happy he's back. It was funny because that fight started. I was like, wait, did he just throw a kick? Like, was that what? And all of us were sitting around the avocado like, what was that? So good for him. He actually said on something that I read post-fight that he was throwing some low kicks, but later on he threw a head kick. He said he just learned the head kick a few weeks ago. Now, mind you, Rampage has been fighting in like 15 years. Right. But good for him for still trying some new stuff.
Yeah, you gotta give him credit for that.
He's always been a boxer and a tough guy like that. But I love at this point he's still trying to like add some new wrinkles to his game. You know, Fabio was getting him. We were talking about this too, because when the guys, we always do like a keys to victory on how the guys can win, and this time it was Dominic and Rashad, and they were talking about, Maldonado works body, and any good boxer knows you got to work the body. You don't just go for the headshots, because that's going to break him down. And as the fight went on, you saw Quentin, like, he kept dropping his hand because Fabio just kept landing that shot down there. But luckily, Quentin's fast enough to get it back up to block the hook. A lot of people can't do that if they go body, and all of a sudden they're like crumpled down and then they get a hook. So he survived that and was, that's the thing, Fabio, he's like a rope-a-dope king. Just when you think he's out, he comes back. He's got his back against the fence, and he can usually do something. Dude can take such a beating.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but he can.
No, but that's why people love him. That's why Fabio is beloved, because he just goes in there to throw down, and he doesn't stop.
Right.
I mean, for his own good, maybe he should, but I don't know.
I cannot believe some of the shots he was taking. It's like,
What did the bar think of it? Because you were out at the bar. Were people like enjoying the fight or what?
Yeah, people were enjoying the fight, but it wasn't it wasn't a big crowd. It wasn't a big, it wasn't a big card.
Yeah,
so,
but it's funny because the card was, a lot of people were kind of saying, oh, it's not gonna be that good, blah 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 blah. Turned out to deliver. Like when you talk about actual fights that happened, finishes, cool stuff happened, even though maybe there weren't as many butts in the seats and people didn't expect it to do well. I think a lot of people actually ended up like delivering on there. So Quentin now then also says, he came in, he weighed 216 for the 215 catch weight, and he said, listen, I did get a little affected by, you don't know if you're gonna have your fight, and so he's still training, whatever, but he wants to avenge some of his losses. He's, would like to fight Rashad, and Rashad's like, bring it, like he actually, because they used to coach against each other in Ultimate Fighter. Rashad has been out for a while. But Rashad's really good. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a tough fight for Quentin. He also, I guess, talking about fighting Shogun, stuff like that. Like, that actually would be fun. Shogun and Rampage, everybody would just be back in Pride. It'd be awesome.
So is he free and clear now to fight in the UFC?
Well, we don't know. That's the whole thing is, after the fight in the Dana interview, it was like, oh, so is he going to have more legal trouble? And Dana's like, yeah, probably. Yeah. But, hey, his team was good enough to get that injunction lifted so he could fight on Saturday. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I hope it all works out and that we get to keep him.
I mean, like, you hate to hear that, too, because he must be dropping some money for legal costs. Yeah. And, like, and these guys aren't getting paid that much, No. I mean, we're not having a Manny Pacquiao paid.
No, Quentin was, the time before he left the UFC, one of the highest paid guys because he'd been around so long. And his contract was quite expensive, which some people think was part of the reason they wanted to get rid of him, because he was very expensive and he had been losing fights. So he wasn't, the cost, the ROI was not there. But I feel like, listen, if we've got our champ going to jail, we need guys like Quentin who have a personality and people know him. He's beloved in Asia. People know him all around the world. He does. He's, and that's the thing. Whatever with his fighting, I think a lot of these young kids could take a lesson from his playbook in terms of how to be a personality, like how to be entertaining and engaging. There's more to it than just what your fist can do. And he's so fun to talk to.
No, I mean, I heard that after the fight, Bellator was drunk dialing him all night. He's like, come on, baby.
I love you, baby.
Why don't you come back to me?
That's terrible.
Stupid bitch. No, I didn't mean to say that. I know, it's so good. Oh, forget it.
Call me.
Call me. I love you.
Oh, Rampage. And speaking of Rampage, we did an interview a while back that is the famous motorboat interview.
So you guys talked about boating?
We did talk about boating. And for the record, once again, for those of you who may be new on the scene, he never touched me. And the whole thing's a goof. But we have over 6 million views on that video. Boom! 6 million, over 6 million.
What do I have to do, people?
I know.
I am willing. I'm willing to get violated on camera for you.
The thing about it is, it's such a funny interview because he, even without the pretend motor, he was just he was on fire with like the stuff. He's hilarious in that interview.
Sexual harassment.
It's
sells,
always funny.
baby.
No, it's not. But no, it's funny. I didn't say that.
That's it. That's the meme.
No, shut
Sexual
up.
harassment, always funny.
Shut up. Round 4. You know who is always funny? Michael Bisping. Listen, working around this guy, interviewing this guy, he is hilarious. Great personality. Nice fight for him against CB Dollaway. We talked to him after the fight. He said in the post-fight interview that he was like, oh well, I thought it was going to be easier than that. I was like, ouch, that's kind of rough. So I asked him. I said, well, would you underestimate? He said, actually, it wasn't that I underestimated CB. He said, I just believe so much in myself that I thought I was going to get the finish, and so I'm frustrated that I didn't. He's better than I thought, I guess, type thing. I thought that was a good fight. I didn't think it was a question of who won. I thought Michael clearly won.
I think it could have gone either way. I think that second round could have gone either way.
Well, you're wrong.
I've been wrong.
No, with the second round, okay, I'm saying the overall fight. How you scored an individual round may be one thing, but like overall, taking the Gestalt approach of the whole being greater than the sum of its parts, didn't you walk away from that fight thinking, that's a sociology term I learned in college.
We just lost half our viewers.
At any rate, I thought he was clear that Michael won.
Well, okay, so
but he was in trouble a few times.
So going on the Gestalt approach, I would give it to Michael because if the fight goes 5 rounds,
it's all Michael.
He clearly
CB was flat.
But going on the UFC approach of scoring rounds,
what did CB win then? The first because he knocked him down.
He won the first. I think the second could have gone either way, and then Michael won the third.
The bar was a mix, half on the second round.
Okay.
Well.
But listen, first of all, and I was telling this to Wade, if Michael Bisping were the SATs, even Asian kids would score poorly. He's that tough.
He is.
All right, hold on, ready? How tough is Michael Bisping?
How tough is he?
If he were toilet paper, even Russians would find him too coarse. I don't know if you've ever been to Russia. It's the land of sour faces and coarse toilet paper. Oh yeah, horrible toilet paper.
Really. But yeah, no, Michael.
He put steak sauce in his whiskey. He's that tough.
He's that tough. Listen, Michael was number 10 going into this fight. CB was number 11, so it maybe doesn't move him up in the rankings necessarily, but keeps him relevant. Listen, the guy has been here for over 10 years. In the UFC, been really good for a very long time. Like him or not, Michael is a very talented fighter. So I don't know, maybe people now are saying, well, hey, how about H.E.A.T? Because, Michael's the one who'll tell you. He's like, hey, I still want to make a title run. He's like, but I'm 36, I don't have time, 35, 36, I don't have a lot of time to waste. So a fight like H.E.A.T could be something that, listen, if you get past H.E.A.T, you've proven H.E.A.T is number 1 here.
Right.
I think it would be a very tough fight. But Michael, we went down to Rain with him and watched some training with Tito Ortiz and these guys, and like, Michael's a tough son of a bitch. And he's so competitive that like he just refuses the option that he won't win. Like he just can't accept that you beat him.
I have a man crush on Michael Bisping. Because he's funny, he can tell a story, he's tough as hell, and I also he dedicated a fight to his son,
Callum,
whose birthday it was.
Callum. So Callum's a good kid.
I got my kid a Lego set.
Nice.
I told him he could get any set as long as it was under $30.
Nice. So good for him. Glad for Michael. Under $30.
Well, wow. I feel really bad too because he chose one that was $29.99. He was so happy. Yeah. And then I explained sales tax.
You're such a jerk.
And
God,
and
what
how
a jerk.
and how we really had to find one under 27 if he was going to meet California state sales tax.
Jerk.
And then Michael Bisping gives his kid a win in the UFC.
Yeah. Michael also one of the highest paid fighters in the UFC, so I'm sure he's buying Lego sets for everybody, Pete. Also want to point out something interesting. Patrick Cote, who won his fight against Joe Riggs, and the featured prelim. This is how tough this guy is, and I mentioned this on the post-fight show. He calls the UFC fights in French. He's the voice of it. Dude went to work, right, and fought his fight, wins a 3-round fight, and I'm looking, I'm like, wait, is that Cote sitting there? And so he's sitting there ringside, so I'm texting him, like, dude, are you calling the fights now? And he wrote back, he's like, yeah, I am. I'm like, all right, okay, that's cool. You just went to work, and now I'm just gonna go sit back here and call the rest of the fight. I think that's cool.
In between rounds, he was selling peanuts in the stadium.
Nice.
So, very talented.
He's a very talented guy. What was a hometown fight in Montreal? I guess he felt like he needed to service everything. No, I just thought that was cool. You know, there's actually there's a lot we could talk about. There were some women's fights on there. Rakosi didn't fare too well there. Her eye got busted up early on. That was not good. Alexis Davis avenged her loss to Sarah Kaufman. Well, her 2 losses. She lost to Sarah Kaufman twice, and got the armbar in there. The one thing I will say this about the women's fight: Rakosi and Laterna, they go down to 115 pounds. Used to fight at 135. I feel like you could have more success at 35. To me, the strawweight division is way deeper than the bantamweight division. And I feel like if you already fought at bantamweight, even if you think you're small, I think you could be more successful in that division. There are older fighters there. There are women that have been around longer. They're not for nothing, but a little slower and a little, they're seasoned. Whereas you have these little Paige Van Zants coming out of like the chute blasting at 20 years old. I think some of these women should have stayed at heavier weight, but that's just me.
Well, you're only getting to number 2 at the heavier weight.
Right. But there's more open space in bantamweight than there is in strawweight. That's my opinion.
20 pounds is a lot.
That's a lot. They looked so rough on the scale. Okay, round 5. Time for Pete. Time for high five, folks.
All right.
Here we go.
Listen,
go.
Demetrious is arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter. Jon Jones, Demetrious, we can go back and forth. But listen, he needs a PR makeover.
You think?
Oh, totally. Okay. He needs a PR makeover. So first up, the nickname.
Okay.
Mighty Mouse.
I like it.
Come on. Come on, that was a cartoon character when we were growing. Okay, Karyn. Listen, if I told you that a mighty mouse was coming to get you, or just an average run-of-the-mill lion, who would you be more scared of?
I get it.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I'd be afraid of a lion instead of a mighty mouse.
So listen, I get it, mighty mouse. So I try to think of like some other like a little bit better nickname, but I try to stay with sort of like the small but strong, small and deadly. So my first thought was Ebola virus. So Demetrious Ebola virus Johnson. Like that, like, oh yeah, I get it.
Oh, I gotta stay away.
Small, deadly.
Terrible.
Yeah, man, I gotta stay away from that guy. Or else, like, listen, if you want to stick with a mouse thing, let's not mouse. It's like Mickey, like the Raging Rat.
Oh my God.
Demetrious Raging Rat Johnson.
Is he?
Or Demetrious Vermin with a Vendetta Johnson. So. But listen, I realized that these weren't too good, so I went for a walk, as us PR guys do. I go for a walk, and I decided to, like, think of different angles, and that's when I had my eureka moment. Yeah. Wade, can I introduce you Demetrious Johnson's new name? Demetrious, I'm 5'3" with a 9-inch Johnson. That, my friend, is going to bring in the female fight fans. It's going to bring in the guys who are like, oh, yeah, right, let me see. So,
wow.
Run with it, run with it. Okay, so.
Wow.
As a, So, as a good PR person, we don't just stop there. So next up is we have to move on to tattoos.
Yeah.
Demetrious, where are they? Where you look too clean. Come on. Demetrious looks like he's friends with lots of girls. He looks like he would not be out of place in an IT department. Like, you would actually be surprised that he didn't have an Indian accent. You're like, really? No, he's like, dude, he is a black fighter, and my mom wouldn't even cross the street to avoid him.
Oh my God, he's that safe.
If I'm Mom, there's a black man coming down who's a professional fighter. He's coming right towards you. It's dark out, and she's like, "Oh, it's just Demetrious Johnson."
Oh my God, that's
so listen, we got to toughen this guy up. So listen, my first thought is name tattooed across the back. Yeah. Like Donald Cerrone. In fact, get Donald Cerrone's name tattooed across your back, because apparently people want to see him more than you. I'm sorry, it sucks. And then it's probably not going to be until like the second or third round, when people are like, wait a minute, I didn't know Cerrone was black. What's going on? Oh, but so anyway, that's one idea. Okay, all right. Another idea. you get a picture of Kim Kardashian's ass tattooed on your back. Because everyone wants to look at that. Plus, it'll make you appear much larger. You know, it's like a lizard when a lizard puffs up. Just a couple ideas. And now, finally, we need to address Demetrious' use of social media.
Yeah.
Okay, as Demetrious is self-appointed PR man, I feel the need to take a few of his tweets and put them through my patented badassometer.
Okay. All right.
So Wade, what do we? So okay, Demetrious Johnson, gotta love Friends. Dude, what is this? A fucking Hallmark card? Come on, let's put this to our patented badassometer.
Yeah.
Love my bitches and coming after yours too. Horiguchi, Hibachi, Samsung, whatever the fuck your name is, because I'm Demetrious Johnson. The Raging Rat. Okay, all right. We're trying. Okay. Next one. Wade, next.
Here we go.
Oh,
I'll let you have some overtime if you need a few technical difficulties.
Oh,
here we go.
Okay, here we go. The hardcore fans are going to be the ones to tune in to this fight and see the best fighter in the world. Okay, now I do like how he referred to himself as the best fighter in the world. Like that's the type of chest pounding we need. But let's see what happens when we put this through our badassometer.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you're a pissant who lives in their mother's basement until 6 months ago thought WWE was real, you'll bow down and worship my mastery, or at least not walk out before the end of the fight, dickheads. Nice. Demetrious, I'm telling you, hire me.
I like that one.
All right. Lastly, we have an Instagram photo that Demetrious put up here. This is Demetrious and Michael Bisping. Not even going to caption this. What? He's sticking out. You're sticking out your tongue. What's next? Are you going to do little rabbit ears behind him? Come on. If someone falls asleep, you write, I like cock on their forehead.
No.
And then teabag them while someone else takes the photo. Like, dude, this is basic man rules.
They're on an airplane, Pete.
You're
really gonna teabag up there in first class? That's great.
Dude, it's first class. They get away with anything. So listen, these are my things, but listen, I understand that maybe some of this isn't for everyone. So lastly, if none of this works, if absolutely none works, you pull out a baggie of this.
Oh no.
Demetrious, this is called cocaine, okay? Get yourself a fast car, throw some bitches in the back, just put a lot of this stuff up your face, and then we won't be able to stop talking about you.
Nicely done, Pete. Wow.
Just a little,
just a little.
A little PR advice for a great fighter.
Hey, look, Blow has done some great things for some other champs, hasn't it? Really, just, wow.
And that's not against NSEC rules.
Yeah, Blow, it's out of competition. You can do all the hard drugs you want.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Jon probably should stay away from marijuana because that is against the rules.
Yeah, in competition. Yeah, and he's only a month out from his fight. Like literally, it's worse to smoke weed than it is to do Blow. But that was out of competition. But I think even in competition, they don't do the hard drugs. It's crazy.
So what you tell me is I should really be coked up old guy.
Totally.
Cog. Coog. No.
I don't know if you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I just. You know what? The thing about Demetrious is it's funny because people say, "Oh yeah, he's boring and this and that," but I'm telling you right now, Dana White right now is loving his boring ass fighter Demetrious Johnson. Demetrious should be like, "Y'all bitches want to give me a raise now? I got a wife, 2 kids, same wife. I only have 1 wife for my children, unlike Jon Jones. I win fights. I don't do drugs. I don't do bad things. Like I think it's
you can count on me.
You can count on
when you set a card with me on it. You can count I'll be there.
I will be good. I will blast somebody. I will do anything you ask PR wise, and I won't F it up.
Right.
I mean,
you know what I loved is after the fight, all the fighters' tweets, and people, and people were saying, "Is my TV on fast forward?" I mean, he was getting so much props.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what to think of Demetrious Johnson, look at how other fighters think of him. I mean, like, they respect the hell out of him.
Oh, yeah, and this time for this camp, Tyron Woodley went up and helped him and trained with him and stuff. And that's the thing, we were talking about this with Dominic and Rashad, but, like, the relationship that Demetrious has with his coach, Matt Hume, is very symbiotic, and it's a very personal thing, and it's like literally Demetrious is pretty much his only project,
Right.
There are other people there to support Demetrious and make him better, and so Tyron was like, yeah, I got to go and train with him, and not many people do, and it's a real specific thing, like who they will trust, to come and train with them and stuff. And that's the thing, like you said, other fighters have an incredible amount of respect for Demetrious. I mean, it's a broken record at this point saying people should appreciate him. If they don't, it's their loss.
Right.
And they really, I mean, it's your own loss. You're just a dummy if you don't watch him. And
he's just a really classy guy who happens to be unbelievably good.
Right, and I think maybe people are just mad that he's so good and he's so small that, like, it just pisses him off. You know what I mean? Because they like to think, oh, I could beat his ass, but you couldn't.
Right.
Like, you totally could not beat his ass. He'd be all over you before you even, like, it'd be like that whole, like, just like a Tasmanian devil Mighty Mouse thing. Like, you wouldn't even know what hit you. He'd hit you 5 times before you were like, day? You know what I mean? I love it. Take you down.
He's listen. He was a joy to watch too.
I know.
That's the thing. Is he? Like, I found him really exciting to watch.
I will say this: I missed the green shorts. I liked his Xbox shorts, and he came out in the white, and I was like, oh, something looks off.
He kind of looked like he was in his underwear.
I know. I missed the green shorts. But anyway, congrats to him. And I, again, some people we didn't mention on there: Thomas Alameda. Great fight from him. That's a bantamweight that people are going to have to look out for. That guy knows how to put together a fight combination, a punch combination. I thought that he was impressive to watch. Makdessi had a good finish. Makdessi in some trouble, though. Our good friend Gegard Mousasi actually suing Makdessi because he is the president of record for this company called Fear the Fighter. And Gegard even said last year that he wasn't getting his money that they owed him, sponsorship money. So he just put him on blast finally. So actually, I guess Makdessi got served, with papers before his fight or whatever, so I don't know if that fired him up a little more. But Gegard is our buddy here, and I don't think Gegard lies about stuff like that. Like, if you owe him, you probably owe him, and you should pay him, because
Fear the fighter?
Fear the fighter. They don't pay the fighter.
Fear the accountant.
Totally. So, Pete, in terms of getting better, if you want to learn how to fight, you wrestled, right?
I wrestled.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Well, we started doing some new technique things with our friends at Strong Sports here in Los Angeles, and we're going to be putting out a new technique clip every week. And so we've got one out with our buddy Vladi Matyashenko, former UFC Bellator fighter. He's from the Belarusian national wrestling team. Like, he's a badass in more ways than we can even get into right now. That's actually Frank Trigg that he's doing this demo on. So here we have him teaching the double leg takedown in this clip, right? Cool. So we're going to be doing different stuff with the guys at Strong Sports. So, Ellenberger's down there a lot, Mac Danzig, Jamie Yeager, Trigg, Vladdy. So we'll be doing a lot with them. And if you want to find these clips, we started a whole new site and everything. So you can go to www.mma.help. It's a whole new ending they have on the .help thing. So if you put in www.mma.help, you'll find it there. Or you can go to the MMA Heat on YouTube, and there's going to be a playlist now called Techniques and Instructions.
So
you can find it there too.
I want to learn the 5 moves that enable me to beat up 95% of the people in this world.
Double leg is very important.
Double leg
is important. And
double legs are a wrestling.
Double legs are important, and Vladdy shows you about where to put your head, your hands, and when you get them down, how to step so you're out of their range. Because a lot of time you double leg a guy, and then they're like, oh, I fell in their guard. So you have to be careful of where you take them and how the angles that you shoot so that you don't end up like that.
Cool.
And he's just great. So we'll be doing that. And Strong Sports is down on Figueroa, down in Los Angeles. Really cool gym. It's small. They're going to be growing, but it's a place to go to get really personal attention.
In downtown LA?
Yeah.
Cool.
DTLA. Willard, who owns it, really cool guy. Just it's a good spot. So so look for that. And it's Monday right now, Pete. I got to go soon. So excited. 5 nights in a row of UFC tonight.
Nice.
5 Okay, so we're doing it this week. Sugar stayed in town, so we got Rashad on with us today. We're going to have Cyborg in with us, Rhonda, different stuff. So here's the deal. We're on late this week. It's midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. That's just kind of our trial thing. So what I would ask of UFC Tonight fans, MMA fans, is let Fox Sports know, and let Fox Sports 1 know that you enjoyed it and that you would like more, because it might be the situation of if you build it, they will come, but if you demand it, we can build it. Do you know what I mean? And so the thing is we obviously... People enjoy UFC Tonight, and those of us, Kenny, DC, and I have always said, hey, there's way more stories we could tell. There's a lot that we could do. We just need to find the time, and so we're trying it out this week. So we'll have 5 half-hour shows, but just please let them know that you enjoyed it and that you want more UFC Tonight. Because even if we don't get 5 nights out of it in the future, maybe we go to a couple nights a week, you know, a couple hour-long shows a week. I really want this to happen.
I think they need a high five.
They need a high five. They need a high five. That'd be great. So please do check that out. This weekend, there's no UFC fights, but there's Pacquiao, Mayweather. We hear at MMA, our good buddy Justin Fortune is Pacquiao's strength and conditioning coach, so we're Team Pacquiao this weekend. If you're not, don't say anything.
I'm Team Pacquiao.
You can learn the proper jab.
Yeah. Actually, on the MMA.help, Justin Fortune teaches you how to throw a jab.
Nice. He's
a former heavyweight contender. He fought Lennox Lewis himself. He's a boxer. So he'll teach you how to throw a jab the right way, which is important, and your 5 things to learn.
Cool.
A jab is very important.
Cool.
So that's what's going on, and then the following week we have Stipe versus Mark Hunt, but we can get into that next week.
I kind of want to learn a chokehold. Do you guys like
Yeah. We'll learn some jokes. We got some. I think we have some there, but if not, we will be getting into that for sure.
I want to learn the whole where you're like, hey man, no man, I don't want to fight, and then the guy like just drops to his knees. Do you have that?
Do that again.
We go, oh, and then the guy just drops to his knees.
Wow. And you're saying
it's somewhere between. It's somewhere between the Darth Vader death grip and a standard choke.
Okay. Well, listen. I feel like we should update. We'll see if there's anything new on the Jon Jones story. I don't know if there is, but again, I don't even know what I hope for at this point. Do you know what I mean? Because if the woman's arm is broken, that elevates the accident into a felony. I hope, A, she's okay. Apparently, they haven't mentioned anything about the baby being in danger, and I don't know how far along this woman is pregnant, but that's good news that nothing happened there. It's a bad situation. It's a really bad situation for Jon. And I don't know how you dig yourself out of this one. I don't know how you explain this one.
Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a week of tremendous drama, and then everything to work out right at the end. So we have
that it wasn't him?
So we have more to talk about next week than just the Pacquiao Mayweather. Just like drama, like, you know, Al Cowling somehow shows up in his his white Bronco. Get in! And then there's
we're gonna do this.
You know, and there's a dog barking. Kato Kalin somehow pops up.
Kato, he needs a kid.
That was my pipe in the car.
Yeah, supposedly it was a rented Buick, and they did find the paperwork saying, had his name on it and some other stuff. It's like,
you know, he's talking to some of his entourage, going like, Bobby, you got to take this one.
I know, but who can take it? Who, if you're ID'd, and that's the thing. It's like the guy is very. If you know anything about fighting, like he's very recognizable in terms of his size, his stature. I don't know.
I think.
What's the update?
Sorry,
same thing.
Latest is Albuquerque police are just waiting on a judge to sign
issue
the warrant.
The arrest warrant.
They're saying now, originally he might have just been facing a misdemeanor.
Right, but it's a felony because of the broken arm.
1 year in jail, but now it's actually going to be, if he is accused.
Right, if he's guilty.
It's a felony, which carries a maximum penalty of 3 years in jail.
Albuquerque police is psyched out because they're Twitter followers are
just boom. Here's my question, Pete. If he were to go to jail, would people be like, my boy, Jon Jones, would he be a hero in there, or would people try to beat him up to see that they could beat him up?
I think that he'd be a hero in there, and then there'd be a small group of people who would try to make a name for themselves.
But he wouldn't go to like a hardcore jail, you think?
I think he would be separated from the main population.
Probably.
So,
What was the name of that movie that Wesley Snipes did where he was the boxer, and it's him and you know, guy who played Marcellus Wallace in
Ving
Rhames. And what's it called? Is it called Undefeated or whatever? And they're boxers and they're in jail, and yeah, the one guy was the heavyweight champion of the world, and he gets his butt whooped by the guy, the jail champ. It's actually a pretty entertaining movie. I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing.
I'll tell you though, if you are in that jail, make friends with Jon Jones.
Make friends. Well, okay, so once again, remember to look for www.mma.help for some techniques. You can always go to MMA Heat on YouTube. You can also go to Karyn Bryant on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter, the Facebook. I'm KB Heat on Instagram. Pete, where can people find you? My Noogie on Twitter, and there's a little prize for my 20,000th Twitter follower. Oh my! 5 years from now, Pete will be giving out a prize. I'm at 153 right now, but somewhere you're out there. You probably haven't been born yet. Number 20,000, but. Oh, hey, I've been taking Alpha Brain for a week. Really? Yes, and I've never seen so many colors in my life. Do you know that I have 2 kids? It's not just one who moves really quickly. I used to only see one until I got Alpha Brain. Well, you can go to /on it for a discount on your own Alpha Brain. Pete, it's been fun. I'm now going to climb back into my hole for next week. Yep. All right. Well, thanks for watching and listening, folks. Remember, you can always get this on audio only if you go to MMAHeat.com/podcast. We've got a link for iTunes and Stitcher there. And it's free. It's fun. And it's fantastic. Offensive. And your homework is to look up Gestalt. Gestalt. Yes. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. See you later.